We're back at Digby Signs. I called Nick earlier today and asked him if he could have this stuff ready by the weekend. And he reminded me tomorrow was the day off. So we agreed that probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. And 3 hours later he calls me and tells me it's ready. So let's go have a look. There's the man of the hour and the other man of the hour. Oh, sweet.
One of those right there.
Beautiful.
Custom floor piece.
Yes, sir.
And then we get the flip up, which I'm almost done. I didn't expect it to be so close by.
Just finishing this other panel. So he's going to flip it over for the reveal. Sweet. Nice. Thank you very much, you guys. You knocked it out of the park again.
Well, thank you.
I have the panels for the floor back home, and they're just set in there right now. This is the floor for the 58 Sedan Delivery. That panel there will lift up and down. There'll be a compartment, storage compartment underneath it, and I can raise it up for the shows.
Okay, continuing on with the assembly, we're going to be installing the timing cover, and to do that we have to install these two bolts that go in through the main cap here and go out through the front. And I'm installing those so that I can turn my engine back to top dead center. Because of the crankshaft position, I can't get the bolts in. Once we get these bolts tightened, they also have a little lock to keep them from coming back out and doing bad things in the engine. Okay, we're going to install our timing cover now. And first thing I'm going to do is apply a little bit of grease to the seal, because once it's on the car we can't grease that up. And we want a little coat of grease in the seal to so that it runs against the crank pulley once we install that. We don't want that dry. There we go. That's coated. Now we install the cover. Line things up here. I applied a little bit of gasket sealer to the other side of the gasket as well. We have two longer screws that go right through the cover into the block. And make sure that those ones go in the right place. There we go. Started, and we can start these. And these bolt right through the cover itself. And now all we have to do is install the small bolts all around and torque them down. Okay, so we're preparing our oil pan gaskets now. And they're cork gaskets, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them on the cardboard here, and I'm going to apply a little bit of trim adhesive on the back of it so I can stick it to the block, and then they won't move when we install the oil pan. And we're going to let this set for a few minutes so that it tacks up, and then we'll just stick it to the block. And I've already installed our end pieces here. These are the little gaskets that will seal the end of the oil pan. There's one on the front, one on the back. I've got them installed. I applied just a little bit of silicone sealer on the inside of them, just for a tight seal. And then we'll have a tight seal on the inside. And I'll apply a little bit of silicone sealer in the corners as well when we install the oil pan. Okay, we've got our glue on the gasket set up a little bit. I've already installed the upper gasket here. So I'm going to install this one here. I've got the block all cleaned out. I'm going to tuck them underneath the end pieces here. And they're just sticky enough that they'll stick to the block and not move when we install the oil pan, and not go out of place. And there are the oil pan gaskets installed. And I'll be adding a little bit of silicone right in the corners here, 4 corners, to make sure that the pan seals properly. Okay, we're going to install our pan, so I'm going to apply a little bit of black silicone sealer right here in the corners, just so that we have a tight seal between the rubber seal and the cork gasket. Just a small bead like so. There we go. I'm going to grab the pan. Here's our freshly painted oil pan. Make sure that our sealing surfaces are clean and dry, which they are. And it's going on. And there we go. Then we bolt it down, torque it down. And the oil pan will be installed.
Here's just showing you the contrast of the bolts, because everything's the right color that it should be.
Okay, we've got our gaskets tacked on for the intake exhaust assembly. And we've got the intake and exhaust assembly here that we're going to install now. And that's going to go on here like so. And we're just going to bolt it down, and it'll be all complete. Okay, we've got our intake and exhaust manifold assembly all bolted down and tight up against the block, ready to go. And our next step is going to be to install the water pump. I've got the gasket on the water pump ready to go, all set here. And here we go. Got the bolt holes all cleaned out, and we're gonna set her on. And the water pump is the natural cast look, and it's coated with an Eastwood cast coating to make it look like natural cast, but it won't tarnish.
By the way, when we mention these products in the videos, we're not advertising for them or getting paid for it. We're just trying to give people tips on good products to use.
All right, we're just going to install the fan here. And getting it ready. Some of these final bits and pieces to go on, and then our valve cover will be going on, and we'll have pretty much a complete engine. Okay, we're installing our thermostat housing setup here, and one of the final pieces. I'm just going to bolt this down, get her on there tight, and then we can install the valve cover, and we'll have a fairly complete engine, other than the distributor that we need to finish detailing up. Here's that. Set the valve cover on.
And as you can notice, we went to great lengths to get the detail you need.
And there we go.
So the whole engine isn't just painted green. Every bolt is the right color. Every screw. This motor is being done to museum quality. So even if you can't appreciate a 6-cylinder, you should be able to appreciate this. Well, it's a big day. I'm over at the gentleman's house who's painting and doing this car for me. And he's got all the fenders and inner fenders, and doors, and tailgate all ready. The rad cradle. So all the pieces are all done and ready to be painted and then reassembled. We'll go inside the shop and have a look at the car. Okay, we're inside the shop. The car has been all block sanded and very, very close to being ready for some paint. So we're going to discuss paint colors today. I had it in mind to go with the original colors, but that may change. He said the car was extremely straight, very, very, very minimal rust, and it wasn't cancerous rust. It was mostly surface rust for sitting for about 16 years in primer. Anyway, wanted to do a little update on the car itself, as all you guys have seen so far basically is videos of the motor. So there you go, you get a peek. Next time you see it, it'll be a color. Today we're coming to pick up some panels that we got done for the back of the 58. We're going to come in and introduce you to Lance.
How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good.
He's going to
I
pull
guess this
this
is what
out.
you come for.
And that's going to be proudly displayed in the back of the 58 for the interior panels. Right on. Thanks, Lance, for doing a great job, buddy.
Appreciate the work.
Okay, Lance is also going to show us some stuff here that he did for the channel. We got the hats. We got jackets. Nice. They will be for sale by order only if anybody is interested. And we got some hoodies. Thank you, my friend. You did a great job.
Thank you, sir.